The 2022 High School Yearbook of American Politics. It wasn't exactly a feel-good year. With brutal inflation, the war in Ukraine, periodic pandemic surges, gun massacres and the Supreme Court's ruling that women do not have a right to bodily autonomy, 2022 had its dark spots. Then again, we avoided a presidential impeachment, and no one stormed the Capitol trying to overthrow the government. So that was a step up. Plus, Sarah Palin lost her House race. Twice. As always, at every step there were political players and events that stood out from the general chaos in ways good, bad, and bizarre. It is once again time to recognize these special few. Most egregious Nepo couple. Clarence v. Ginny Thomas. With the Trump clan out of the White House, this category was competitive once more. But ultimately the Thomases pulled the win, in part as a Lifetime Achievement Award. While the January 6 hearings cast a fresh spotlight on the conflicts between Guinness wingnut activism and her husband's role as neutral arbiter of the law, she has been riding his robe-tails for decades. Best New Imaginary Government Agency. Nancy Pelosi's Gazpacho Police. Tomato, Tomato. Gestapo, Gazpacho. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene may not be much of a legislator, but that gal is one heck of a creative linguist. Most expensive midlife crisis. Elon Musk. The standard cliché is for an aging man to buy an expensive sports car. But what if he already owns a company that makes expensive sports cars? Mr. Musk opted to drop $44 billion on a social media platform he has no clue how to run in an effort to paint himself as a free speech crusader. All he has achieved thus far is to fuel rumors of Twitter's demise, damage Tesla and convince much of the world that he is less mad genius than narcissistic ass. Well played. Biggest winner. Ron DeSantis. Florida's governor romped to re-election, capturing even the traditionally blue Miami region. With national Republicans drooling all over him, Mr. DeSantis is perfectly positioned to run for the big chair in 2024. The ever-looming question, what is Donald Trump going to do about it? Biggest loser. Donald Trump. His legal troubles are piling up. He backed a bunch of losers in the midterms. That upstart DeSantis is eating into his presidential polling numbers. And his fancy new NFT trading cards have been widely mocked. In a word, sad. Biggest electoral X factor. The Supreme Court's Dobbs decision. By overturning Roe v. Wade, the conservative justices made abortion a red-hot campaign topic that mobilized pro-choice voters and damaged Republicans in the midterms. Harris hoping this is the start of an electoral trend. Most likely to wind up a tin-pot dictator. Kari Lake. The Republican contender for governor of Arizona looked so promising as a next-generation mega-demagogue. She had the charisma, the media savvy, the anti-democratic tendencies, the love of conspiracy theories and a loose relationship with the truth. But she lost, and her claims of voter fraud are going nowhere fast. Time to see if Tucker Carlson needs a co-host. Most outrageous political stunt. Migrants on Martha's Vineyard. Was Ron DeSantis flying a group of hapless migrants to this playground of the rich and famous cruel and sketchy? Absolutely. But it also drew public attention to the border crisis and outraged blue state America, both of which served his purposes. Most impressive survivor. Brian Kemp. Georgia's governor not only prevailed against Donald Trump's crusade to unseat him but also emerged with his brand enhanced. Victory and vindication have rarely smelled sweeter. Most stylish exit. Nancy Pelosi. After 19 years herding the Democratic cats, America's first female speaker and perennial badass is passing the leadership torch. The House is unlikely to produce a leader even half as effective anytime soon. Top con man. George Santos, if that's even his real name. Pick a campaign claim by the representative-elect from New York's 3rd Congressional District, and chances are it was false. Veteran of Citigroup and Goldman Sachs. Nope. Beleaguered landlord with 13 properties. Nope. College grad? Nope. Lost 4 employees in the Pulse nightclub shooting? Nope. Mysteries remain. There is an ongoing debate about his claiming to be Jewish, or was it Jewish? And it's still unclear how, with a long trail of unpaid debts, he was in a position to loan his campaign $700,000. Even in a Republican Party trained to embrace alternative facts, this guy is testing the limits. Best reality show. The January 6th committee hearings. There may have been only 2 Republican lawmakers on the House panel, but there was a whole host of Republican consultants, lawyers and former officials on the witness list. And these folks had many disturbing things to say about Donald Trump's scheming to overturn the 2020 election. Like some dystopian Schoolhouse Rock video, the proceedings offered an extended civics lesson in how not to run a democracy. Most likely to appear in a future season of White Lotus. Donald Trump Jr. and his bride-to-be, Kimberly Guilfoyle. Of course, the real genius would be to set the whole season at Mar-a-Lago, co-starring Javanka, Melania and the rest. Most underestimated. Joe Biden. Again. This year's policy wins included the CHIPS Act, the Inflation Reduction Act, the first major gun safety legislation in decades, an overhaul of the Electoral Count Act and a law to protect same-sex and interracial marriage. As promised, he put the first black woman on the Supreme Court. And, as the midterms heated up, he kept his head down as the Republicans' red wave shrank to more of a pink dribble. You have to give the boring, moderate, pragmatic old guy his due. Most likely to have a miserable 2023. Hunter Biden. The new Republican House majority has one aim for the next Congress: paralyze the Biden administration with investigations. The president's son Hunter makes for a juicy target. Expect Hunter and his infamous laptop to be the pet topic of Ms. Taylor Greene et al. For the foreseeable future. Most shameless Christmas grift. The aforementioned NFT trading cards that Donald Trump rolled out this holiday season for the low price of $99. Happy New Year to all our winners, and to all the rest of us who endured the entire political circus.